Do you mind if I smoke?
Carolyn Jones, the actress who brought Morticia Addams to life, was a woman who knew how to keep her secrets well. To the world, she was the epitome of gothic elegance, her sultry presence on screen as captivating as it was enigmatic. But behind those mesmerizing eyes was a woman waging a private war, a battle so intense it finally consumed her. Carolyn Jones's early childhood in Amarillo, Texas was far from easy. Her childhood was marked by a series of hardships that would shape her character and future in profound ways. Carolyn's mother, Chloe Jeanette Southern, was a devoted fan of movies, music, and the entire Hollywood experience, so much so that she named her daughters after her favorite actresses, Carolyn after Carole Lombard, and her sister Betty after Betty Davis. Chloe's passion for entertainment deeply influenced young Carolyn, sparking in her a lifelong love for the arts. However, Carolyn's father, Julius Alfred Jones, was a far cry from the nurturing figure Chloe tried to be. The family's life during the Great Depression was difficult, and Julius, unable to cope with the pressure of supporting his family, abandoned them in 1934. Carolyn was only 4 years old at the time. This was not just an emotional blow, but a logistical nightmare for Chloe, who was agoraphobic and unable to work. The family had no choice but to move in with Carolyn's maternal grandparents, a situation that was not ideal. Living with her grandparents introduced Carolyn to a new set of challenges. The house was cramped, and the environment was tense, especially with her grandfather, who was prone to sudden and terrifying bouts of rage. Carolyn, who was already a sensitive child, struggled to adapt to this new and hostile environment. Her situation worsened when she developed severe chronic asthma, which became so life-threatening that she was often confined to her bedroom for weeks at a time. This period of isolation had a significant impact on her, leading her to seek solace in movies and books as a form of escapism. The fantasy worlds on screen became her refuge, deepening her desire to one day escape the confines of her reality and create a new life in Hollywood. Carolyn's grandfather, however, had different plans for her. He didn't support her dream of becoming an actress, insisting instead that she pursue a more traditional and stable career like law or medicine. This clash of ambitions came to a head when he took Carolyn to Southern Methodist University, hoping she would change her mind. But Carolyn was determined, and in a dramatic and heartbreaking moment, she sat on the steps of the university's rotunda, sobbing and pleading with her grandfather to let her apply to the Pasadena Playhouse, a school known for producing successful actors. Her emotional plea had the desired effect, and her grandfather eventually relented. At just 17 years old, Carolyn was accepted into the Pasadena Playhouse in 1947, a pivotal moment in her life. But while this was the first step towards her dream, it came with its own set of challenges. The transition from Amarillo to Pasadena was daunting. The Playhouse was a world away from the small, dusty Texas town she had known, both in culture and opportunity. Carolyn threw herself into her studies, determined to make the most of this opportunity. But the financial strain was a constant companion. Although her scholarship covered tuition, Carolyn still needed to support herself, so she took on odd jobs, including waitressing, to make ends meet. Despite these hardships, Carolyn's time at the Pasadena Playhouse was transformative. She quickly gained a reputation as one of the most promising students, impressing her teachers and peers with her dedication and talent. Her hard work soon paid off when she was noticed by a talent scout, leading to her first screen test and the beginning of her Hollywood career. Carolyn Jones wasn't one to be easily typecast. In an era where many actresses were pigeonholed into specific roles, Carolyn's versatility allowed her to explore a wide range of characters. Whether she was playing a troubled femme fatale or a light-hearted comedic role, Carolyn brought a unique blend of intensity and nuance to her performances. Throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s, Carolyn appeared in a string of successful films, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her role in The Bachelor Party from 1957. She also held her own opposite some of Hollywood's biggest stars, including Anthony Franciosa and Dean Martin in Career from 1959. But as her star continued to rise, so would the challenges she faced behind the scenes. In 1964, Carolyn Jones took on the role that would define her career and cement her place in pop culture history, Morticia Addams in the television series The Addams Family. The show was a groundbreaking blend of macabre humor and family dynamics, and Carolyn's portrayal of Morticia was nothing short of iconic. On the set of The Addams Family, Carolyn Jones was not only the epitome of professionalism, she also became a maternal figure to the younger cast members, particularly the children who played Wednesday and Pugsley. Despite the eerie and gothic persona she projected as Morticia Addams, Carolyn had a warm, nurturing side that shone through when the cameras weren't rolling. One of the most endearing aspects of her off-screen personality was her habit of baking treats for the kids on set.
The Addams Family.
Whenever there was a break in filming, Carolyn would often retreat to her trailer and emerge with freshly baked cookies or homemade brownies, much to the delight of Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday, and Ken Weatherwax, who portrayed Pugsley. She would gather them around, and they'd sit together, enjoying the sweet snacks she'd prepared with a genuine sense of care and affection. John Astin, who played her on-screen husband Gomez, noted that Carolyn's off-screen demeanor brought a sense of warmth and camaraderie to the set, which was invaluable. Her nurturing side didn't just extend to the children. She was a supportive presence for the entire cast and crew. Ted Cassidy, who played Lurch, once remarked that Carolyn's kindness extended beyond the camera, creating a family-like atmosphere on set. Carolyn's generosity to the cast and crew extended to giving personalized gifts during the holidays and after filming concluded. One particularly memorable instance involved a custom set of vintage film posters for the show's set designers, including Bill McCullough and John R. Talbot, who had a passion for classic cinema. Carolyn had noticed their interest during conversations on set and arranged for these posters to be framed and presented as a special thank you. The gesture was deeply appreciated, highlighting Carolyn's attentiveness and her genuine appreciation for her colleagues' efforts. Despite the show's initial cancellation after just 2 seasons, Carolyn's portrayal of Morticia left a lasting impact. The Addams Family became a cultural phenomenon, with Carolyn's performance widely celebrated as one of the most memorable and enduring aspects of the series. Morticia Addams, as brought to life by Carolyn Jones, has continued to influence popular culture, inspiring numerous adaptations and cementing Carolyn's place as an iconic figure in television history. Carolyn's commitment to the role was evident in every episode. She embraced Morticia's distinctive mannerisms and expressions, creating a character that was both timeless and iconic. Despite the public's adoration, Carolyn Jones' personal life was fraught with difficulties. She was married 4 times, with each relationship leaving its mark on her. Carolyn's first marriage was to Don Donaldson in 1950, just as she was beginning her climb in the entertainment industry. Carolyn was only 20 years old at the time, filled with dreams of stardom, but still largely unproven in Hollywood. Don Donaldson, who worked outside the entertainment industry, offered Carolyn a semblance of stability, but their relationship was strained by her growing ambitions and the demands of her budding career. The pressures of trying to establish herself as an actress while maintaining a marriage were too much, and they divorced in 1952, just 2 years after tying the knot. In 1953, Carolyn married Aaron Spelling, a man who would later become one of television's most legendary producers. At the time, however, Aaron was still struggling to make a name for himself, and Carolyn was the bigger star in the relationship. Their marriage was one of mutual ambition. Carolyn was at the height of her early career, with roles in films like House of Wax and The Big Heat, and Aaron was determined to break into the television industry. Together, they were a formidable team, with Carolyn often acting as a muse and supporting Aaron as he began to create his empire. However, as Aaron's career began to outpace Carolyn's, the dynamic between them shifted. Aaron's work demanded more of his time, and the pressures of maintaining their public image in Hollywood strained their relationship. Carolyn, who cherished her privacy, found it increasingly difficult to cope with the constant scrutiny and the relentless pace of Aaron's career. Their marriage lasted 12 years, but by 1965, the couple had grown apart, leading to a divorce that reflected not only the end of their personal relationship, but also a significant turning point in both of their careers. After her divorce from Aaron Spelling, Carolyn found herself engaged to Bud Moss, a prominent Hollywood agent in 1966. This relationship was markedly different from the marriage to Aaron. Bud was deeply embedded in the Hollywood scene, and their engagement was a hot topic among industry insiders. Carolyn, who was still reeling from her divorce, found solace in Bud's company, but the relationship was not without its complications. The two had a passionate but tumultuous romance, marked by Carolyn's increasing desire to step back from the public eye. Despite their deep connection, the pressures of Hollywood and the unresolved issues from Carolyn's previous marriage led to the end of their engagement in 1967. This breakup was particularly hard on Carolyn, as it marked another failed attempt at finding lasting love. In 1968, Carolyn married Herbert Green, a successful Broadway conductor and musical director. This marriage marked a significant shift for Carolyn, as she moved away from the intense spotlight of Hollywood to focus on a more private and domestic life. Herbert's work in the theatre world was far removed from the pressures of film and television, offering Carolyn a different pace and perspective. However, their relationship was complicated by the geographical distance between them. Herbert's work often kept him in New York, while Carolyn remained rooted in Los Angeles. Additionally, Carolyn's health began to decline during this period, which placed further strain on their marriage. Despite their efforts to make the relationship work, the distance and Carolyn's health issues proved too much, leading to their divorce in 1977. Carolyn's final marriage was to Peter Bailey Britton in 1982, a relationship that came during the most challenging period of her life. By this time, Carolyn was battling serious health issues that would soon take her life. Peter, who was not deeply involved in the Hollywood scene, provided a sense of calm and support that Carolyn desperately needed. Their marriage was brief, lasting just over a year, but it was marked by Peter's unwavering support as Carolyn faced her final days. Peter stood by her side as her health deteriorated, offering her the comfort and stability she had often sought but seldom found in her previous relationships. In the 1970s, Carolyn's public appearances became increasingly rare. Rumors began to circulate in Hollywood circles, whispers of health issues, of a once brilliant star slowly fading from the limelight. But these were just rumors, and Carolyn did little to confirm or deny them. She continued to work sporadically, choosing her roles carefully, and never once letting on that anything was amiss. However, for those who were paying attention, the signs were there. Carolyn's once radiant appearance began to show signs of strain. The vibrancy that had defined her earlier years seemed to dim, replaced by a more subdued, almost melancholic aura. Her colleagues on set noticed that she tired more easily, that her energy was not what it once was. But Carolyn, ever the professional, soldiered on, refusing to let anything interfere with her work. Speculation around Carolyn Jones reached a fever pitch. The tabloids, always hungry for scandal, began to publish stories about her reclusiveness, about her fading health, and about the toll that Hollywood had taken on her. But Carolyn remained silent, refusing to engage with the media, and her silence only fueled the rumors further. Despite the mounting speculation, there were no definitive answers. Carolyn's inner circle, ever loyal, refused to disclose any details, leaving the public in the dark. But the whispers continued, growing louder with each passing day. What had happened to Carolyn Jones? Why had she retreated so suddenly? In the summer of 1983, Carolyn was returning from a trip when she was suddenly stricken with severe stomach pains. Reports surfaced that she had vomited blood upon disembarking from a plane and was rushed to the emergency room and into surgery. During the operation, her surgeons were stunned at what they discovered. Carolyn had a severe and aggressive form of colon cancer, which had been silently eating away at her body. Shortly after, on August 3, 1983, Carolyn's life sadly came to an end.